whenever Bitcoin crashes out real hard, I just hold my nose and, you know, buy an amount that I want to buy, and then uh, pretty much just like fade the rally fairly quickly.
Okay.
I mean, I've been doing it for a long time, but I don't really mess with the other cryptos. I don't, you know, what? It's like just use leverage.
You're right. You're right. All right.
Yeah.
So you mostly just look at the Bitcoin. Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
are you finding that the sheet is helpful in any way with that or no?
Um, I would say when I'm looking for crash, I've just been watching the price action for so many years. I'll just sense crash alert, and then you got crash alert. So yeah,
Okay. So that's a yes. Okay. Great. Great. All right. That's
yeah.
what's up. That's what's up. Um. Anyone else? Y'all can chime in too. The mic is it's open mic. It's open mic night here at the Black Ops. um. Like I was saying, I'm really I want feedback. Feedback is very important because I need to know what everyone's needs are, and whatever we don't need, then I can chuck and I can fall back on that. But anything that is missing that you do need, then I'll look into implementing that. I just want everyone here to make as much money as possible. All right. I can't stress that enough. I need everybody out here just blacking out in the market. Like for real. Things are about to get really on and popping in these markets. I think you have only yet to see the volatility that's about to come. It's about to be crazy, bananas. That's why I've been in the lab doing what I've been doing, so that you guys can know what is really what time it really is, regardless of all the news out there. For instance, they've been talking about China, with everything, you know, saying forget, making bitcoins illegal and all that stuff. I don't know, William. You over there, man. You chime in. You tell me, man. Is um is it hype from where you set with the whole China outlawing cryptos, or what's the real from where you setting that, man? Please inform us. Yeah, I know you a long time user of the bot check. Yeah, the bot check is the bomb diggity. Yeah, that's for sure. But what I guess what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make it so that you have the precise stuff up to the minute, regardless of what's happening in the news. I want you guys to know that what you have is I can't even put put it into words, because regardless of what happens in the news, you guys are set. You know in advance where the intraday price inflection points are going to be and how to manipulate it. You also know in advance with those bot checks where the order flow is going to come in first thing in the morning, regardless. I don't care what news happens. I don't care if a nuke goes off or earthquake, you name it, tsunami, don't matter. You know where the price inflection points are, and that's more important than anything else. And that's what I've been really stressing and working the most on, to make sure those price points are precise each and every day, regardless of whether you're using the weekly sheet or the daily sheet, doesn't matter. And I've been updating the weekly sheet too, as much as possible, so that those two dailies and weeklies can coincide with each other a little bit better. Um, Another thing I wanted to mention, what was I was going to say something? Um, yeah, with the gold and the silver. Yeah, I know people are mad. That's what I thought. All right, thanks, William. So try. So you guys over there in the East, you are still bullish. You still like cryptos. You still operating in them. All that other stuff is just foolishness. Okay, that's what I thought. Thanks for chiming in on that. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah, and the whole thing with the gold and the silver too. I was watching something the other day, and it was just showing just how people in the East have been buying up physical gold like it's going out of style. Like like it's the end of the world. Like there's no more gold left after tomorrow. So I found that to be also very interesting as well, and that could probably speak to why gold has been stronger than the silver. However, once silver wakes up, though, silver is bananas. For those of you who've never traded in the paper physical markets, man, when silver is on and popping, it is a monster. All right. William remembers he was with me back then, back in 2011, when silver and I mean it was just crazy. $5 price swings each and every day. It was so bad at one point. You can remember this one, William. I remember having to the trading room was so busy, it was so much chatter that you literally had to scroll for like I mean, we had to keep what was it? We had to keep cleaning out our filters, whatever. Remember that because the Skype would get so overloaded. Yep, 250 people. Um, and I was constantly telling you where to move your stop. Like literally every minute, 5 minutes, we were moving our stop all through the day. We couldn't leave the computer. We couldn't go get a drink. We couldn't go to the bathroom. We was just straight up move your stop. All right, I'm moving the stop here now, folks. Hurry up. And that's how I was. I was like, hurry up, because you couldn't snooze. I mean, literally, silver would like be quiet for a minute, and then it would just explode. I mean, these intraday moves were just catastrophic. Sort of like what you're saying with the bitcoins and stuff now. Well, imagine silver doing that, and then you'll understand what I'm saying. Silver, remember, it's extreme leverage. It's $50 a point. That means for every dollar that silver moved, it was $5,000 going into your account or coming out of your account. And we were trading that big physical silver, and we was multiple contracts deep, and we were holding overnight. You talking about curling up in a fetal position in a cold sweat, laying in the middle of your bed? That's exactly what we were. My goodness, yep. And the exchanges kept increasing the margin deposits, man. It was crazy. And we were trading spot gold and silver too. Don't forget that. We was trading spot metals. Man, we was hard body karate. And then that's when they came in and said, okay, US citizens, you can no longer trade the spot metals. And they did it in the middle of the trading day. I got my face pounded in that day. I will never forget that day. It came without warning. There was no news. There was no chatter about it before it happened. They just came in the middle of trading day and was like, "Oops!" And they snatched everyone out of their positions. Win, lose, or draw, you was snatched out of your trade. It didn't matter. It was crazy. I will never forget that.
They love pimping them markets.
Yep. And we were also trading. What was it? AGQ. Remember the 3X ETF, silver ETF? That thing was a monster. It was moving like $10, 15, $20 a day, man. It was crazy. People was making just we made so much money, man. I will never forget that. But I bring all that up to say that that's coming back again, folks. There are things that are in play. I've been following all these news items, and I've been watching the way the exchanges have been acting as well. And I've been noticing like when they hit gold or silver, then they're hitting everything else too. And it's like the central banks are so dangerous right now, and they're so scared. Yeah, yeah, William, I think silver can hit $20 by the end of the year. Absolutely, it don't take much. Remember, silver's a beast. Silver can move $5 to $10 in a day. We've seen it jump $1.50 in less than a minute. Remember that? So yeah, silver. Yeah, I'm more afraid of silver than I am gold any day. And yes, we had $100 moves in gold in a single trading session. I think one time gold dropped $100, and it was in like 5 minutes. That was scary. That was scary, but still not as scary as silver. Moving $5 against you, that's $25,000 deficit in your account if you're on the wrong side of that trade. Yeah. So yeah, I think silver can do it, man. I got look at my chart right here. Look at it. Look at what is accomplished. Let's see. It hit the low back on July the 10th, the week of July the 10th, and look where we've come from there. Look right here, you were at $15.14.5, and then you rally all the way up to $18.29. Now, mind you, this is a weekly chart, so it took mad weeks. You're looking at like 2, 3 months, but still, it did it. So it can happen. And as far as gold, gold is staying above 1,300. So can it run, back towards north of 1,350 easily? It easily can do it. And even right here, I'm like in the video I told you last night, I'm not really tripping over this right here. I'm not really tripping over this because of this trend line right here. You got this trend line, and yeah, you lost momentum right now, but it can easily gain it back. It's not much. It's not far removed from it. It just needs 17.47 cents. That's only like 15, 20 cents away from where it is now. That's nothing. It can easily regain that. But I'm concerned if we close below these trend lines, supports right here. Yeah, that's a problem because then you're going to have one of these numbers right here. I'm going to scroll back. You have a thing where your lines ride just below each other and then it widens down. So then you get a move like this. That's what will happen here. And then you'll get a move down here, back down to the 15 handle. So it's just hard to, it's in the air. It's tough to say right now what it's going to do. We just got to watch it and just trade what we see. You know what I'm saying? Ride those waves. Let the market come to us and determine what's what. Now, to be honest, though, you haven't seen me operate in silver in a minute. I haven't posted no trades, and the reason being, because we really haven't really had any long entries into there. The system's been saying no, and I was looking at it last night, going back. I think it's been 5 days in a row now that the system has basically said don't trade silver. As a matter of fact, the last silver buy signal was on September the 8th. All right. The system has been on the sidelines from the long side since September the 8th. There's been no buy signal in silver, not one. System's been flat. We didn't get a buy signal again until technically Friday, and then again we have one for today. But look where the market is and look what the entry point. See what I'm saying? So, nah. If anything, you're just you're just chilling right now. You're just waiting to see when is it going to come back, and that's it. That's all you can do right now. You can't really do too much else with it, but just watch it. As far as shorting, I mean, yeah, you could have shorted it yesterday. You could have shorted it at that $17.60 price inflection point. I know you saw that on the sheet. So yeah, you could have shorted it. You could have made a nice grip on that. A cool $2,500 close to it. You could have done that. But then again, when you woke up this morning, it's moved back. It's retraced almost half of that entry point. So you'll still be 30 cents in the trade in profit. So yeah, you still could have did it. Gold, on the other hand, though, nah. Gold has been moving a little bit different. Gold right now is at 13.12. Price inflection point yesterday, I posted it. I saw it at 13.18.20. So yeah, you'd still be $6 in the trade right now. But I mean, to me, I still think the risk is to the upside, not the downside. So I have not shorted and I haven't bought anything just yet. Not just yet. I did see some. What did I see? What was it? I saw something earlier. Let me look at my other sheet here. I got too many things open right now because I'm still in the lab technically. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Now there is a $13.16. Let me just verify. I'm seeing 13.16 come up. So let me just double check. Let's see if that's right. 13.16. Oh, okay. Nope. That's an intraday price inflection point. All right, you probably would be interested in this, William. I have a 13.16 intraday price inflection point for the gold futures. So if it hits 13.16, that's a long entry point. That's an intraday point. Now on your sheet it says something else, so you wouldn't even be touching it if you were strictly using the sheet that I posted in the room, I mean the trading folder last night. But this new thing I'm working on is just a tad bit different. So let's see here,
Like
13.
a super pivot point.
Well, what I do is I look at intraday depth charts and I like to see on the price ladder where the volume is, and then I cross-reference that with the put call ratios. I look into the options. I do a lot of calculations in there, and that's how I find, based on where the other algorithms are setting out there. I take into account even when they spoof trades, where they post a trade, a fake trade, and they hurry up and have it to disappear. So I look at those too, and then that's how I come up with where the price inflection points will be that you can't see on a chart. And so the
Well, thank
system
you
will
for that.
predict that ahead of time. I also look at where the big money, the institutional money, is going to run stops and shake out week longs or week shorts. And I like to run those with them. So I beat them and end up running their stops. So, like you heard Jamie Dimon talking down Bitcoin, calling it a Ponzi scheme and a scam and all that other stuff, right? But then if you haven't done your research, you won't know that he is invested heavily in the blockchain and is moving as fast as he can to come up with their own proprietary blockchain. See what I'm saying? So you know something's up when you start hearing celebrities coming out with ICOs. Floyd Mayweather has a couple ICOs. They interviewed that dude from Kiss, the rock group Kiss, Gene Simmons. He was on CNBC the other day. And then there was a third person I just heard talking about coming out with their own ICO. So yes, celebrities are getting involved now. So that should tell you something. It ain't going nowhere. And since when did someone calling something illegal stop it from happening? They shut down Napster, but LimeWire still existed. Remember? Um, so yeah, you can't shut down the peer-to-peer. It's still gonna happen. That's why they got a deep web and a dark web. So it's still gonna happen. All right. So anyway, that's all I got for now. Not too much happening. It's quiet. This is Fed week. The Feds are examining what they're going to do with these interest rates. I noticed that the strong bond has come down quite a bit with the 154 handle. That handle, 154 and below, is interest rate territory. That means they can raise rates without it having a negative effect on the markets as a whole. All right. So as far as I'm concerned, the bonds are pricing in a Fed rate hike. I can't give you the percentage on what that is. You can see the Fed funds futures for that. I don't know what they're predicting right now, but I wouldn't throw it out off the table, not with the bonds at 154. So, and that's where I think we were last time when they raised it. So yeah, it's it's coming. I think it's coming. I'm still I tell you what I'm watching though for clues on what's going to happen with this market. I'm looking at the XIV and I'm looking at Nvidia and I'm looking at the Nasdaq. And as long as those can stay relatively afloat, then I think the stock market rally is not about to pull back anytime soon. So that's what I'm watching right now. If that changes, I'll definitely let you know. And you'll see it reflected too in the sheet. So anyway, that's just some of the things I've been working on, man. Hopefully I'll have it done today. And I'm still supposed to be on the show today at 2 o'clock with V. Haven't heard from him yet, but all things being considered, the show should go on at 2 o'clock. And I have no idea what we're going to talk about because we don't rehearse. We don't talk prior to it. We just come on and we just do it. Let it do what it do. That's how me and Charlie McGrath used to do it too. We did not talk beforehand. We didn't have a script. We didn't have talking points. It was none of that. He would just say like, "All right, we on." He would get some things off his chest, and then I would get things off my chest, and we would just vibe just like that. To me, those are the best. Those are the best shows when you're not rehearsing stuff and you don't have a script. To me, scripts should be for when you're doing a documentary, not for when you're doing a live broadcast. You know what I'm saying? So I like to
The
keep it
most,
real like that.
yeah,
It's authentic. It's organic. You know what I'm saying? Not fake.
right.
Can't speak for other people, but that's just how we roll. Um, let's see what they talk about Toys R Us. Oh, okay. Toys R Us has been in trouble for a long time. I don't care what they say. Oh, and where I'm at here, since I'm in the states, I don't know where everybody else is, but I'm in the states. I don't know if I told you that I saw another Kmart closed. So retailers are really struggling right now, big time, like big time. Yeah, it's dying, man. Think about it. Why do I need to go into Kmart, right? When Walmart is right there, I know I can get a shirt. Look, no disrespect to you, William, but I can get a shirt, you know what I'm saying, for 50 cents versus going into another retailer and paying, through the nose for it. You know what I'm saying? Um, Not only that, but I'll be honest with you guys. Now that Amazon has all close to next day delivery, I can go on Amazon. I can find whatever I want, and I can have it delivered to my front door, and I don't have to leave the house. I like that. I like that a lot. And now that
It is.
Amazon bought Whole Foods, goodness, you know, it's the wild wild west out there. And I think that they have to rethink their existence in this new economy because now that the internet has grown to where it is, they're making them obsolete. I'll tell you one of my biggest gripes too when I go into a retail store. They don't have what I want, what I'm looking for. Either they don't have the color, or they don't have the size, or they don't have the design that I want. And they're limited by whatever space they're located at. They can't order, but so many things. So if like let's say that the latest, gadget is out, yeah, just in time inventory. Something new that's coming out, you'll go to the store and say, okay, I want that. They'd be like, well, if you didn't pre-order it, I only have three left. What? Three left? What are you talking about? But then here's something else this is weird to me. I'm starting to see some of those same kind of trends online too, where you'll go to buy something and say, oh, we sold out. How are you sold out when you're a virtual warehouse? There should be no such thing as sold out. I don't understand that. How can you sell out? Or they'll say one per customer or something crazy like that. I thought you was in the business to sell stuff. Do I care if one person wants to buy up all my inventory? No, because I just met my sales quota. I don't know. Y'all tell me if y'all think I'm wrong on that. I don't think I'm wrong on that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I look at it. So, but yeah, that's a good point. William says you can reserve and then buy later. Yeah, but here's my thing though, man. I mean, if I was a retail store, to me, you should have been online, decades ago. When you saw that retail shopping was becoming a thing, to me, every store, every retail outfit should have had an online presence so that they could meet those needs, and they should have priced themselves to be competitive. They didn't do that. They didn't do it. They didn't do it at all. It's like I have an old saying. Sometimes the wrong people are in business. Like just because they were able to raise a lot of money and get backing, they are here and they in business. But they don't really have no business acumen. They're not really good at it. They're just doing it to make money. I think a lot of retailers are like that. They just in it for the money, but they're not really, you know, crafty about how they do things. That's why Walmart is winning. You know what I'm saying? And that's why other places like that because they're like, I know how to get the customer. I know what the customer wants, and that's what I'm going to give them. If you don't give people what they want, they're going to walk. They're going to go down the street somewhere else where they can get what they want. And that's how I look at it. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to shop there. I don't have to go into your store. And we live in a competitive world now where every field that you can think of is oversaturated. Everything's oversaturated. It doesn't mean that the quality is there. It just means that the bodies are there. So if you want a lawyer, there are a million lawyers within a 5 block radius of where you live at. There's a million doctors, there's a million dentists. You name something, there's a million of it. A zillion realtors. So you're like, how do I choose? What do I pick? Well, the one
Yeah,
that
and once you spend an hour or two doing a little bit of research on any computer, even a phone, you could find a better deal somewhere else, maybe right around the corner, you know?
exactly. That's what I'm saying. The only time it gets a little tricky is when it comes to like really specialized stuff. Like you're looking for a mechanic, looking for a plumber, you're looking for an HVAC. Then it gets a little bit trickier. But I mean,
Yeah.
even still, even that's all saturated. Where I'm at, the HVAC and electricians and carpentry and contractors of any kind, they're a dime a dozen almost. The only thing
That's
that's
what I was going to say, dime a dozen.
yeah, man. I tell you what's hard to find though. Like if you want somebody to clean your house, that's a little bit more challenging. But other than that, man, everything's saturated because everyone claims to be an expert now. Anyone can be an expert. Anyone can hang out a shingle and say, "I'm this, I'm that." If a license is not required, anyone can hang out a shingle. Hey, I'm a
The
contractor.
19,
I fix roofs, and I might not even own a hammer, but you don't know that. Yeah, man, you should let me do your roof. Really? You know how to fix roofs? Yeah, man. And you don't know I don't own a hammer, a screwdriver, not even a ladder. But I'm claiming to be a roof expert. See what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's like buyer beware is what we are now. And I think the old regime is dying out. The old banking system is in trouble. The retail sector is in trouble. The automotive sector is in trouble. All these old, you know, gray-haired industries that have had monopolies forever is in trouble, and they know it. That's
yeah,
why
and
we're saying what we're
the
saying.
trucking industry, the regulators are coming down on the hours of service rules for them. So now they're pushing out all the owner operators. It's an absolute. I'm calling it the Holocaust or the slaughtering of all the owner operators in America, basically, because not all of them. Most of them probably hang in there and just get e-logs, but most of those guys do not use electronic logs. They run illegally, and they're pushing them out. They're making them get e-logs, and they're like, I can't. I'm going to lose, uh, a third to half my revenue in a week.
Okay, explain. Now, I know a little bit about the trucking industry because my brother's dad was a trucker, and he did
Hmm.
that. That's how I learned trucks. I can identify a truck from a mile coming down the road. I can tell you what it is. I can tell you if it's a International Transtar, if it's a Kenilworth, a Peterbilt, a Mack. I know all of that. A Ford.
Right.
He trained us on all of that. So I know a little bit about that. But what do you mean about digital? What are you talking about?
So Schneider, U.S. Express, all the big companies, now they all have converted over to e-logs. So a truck driver has to drive no more than 11 hours within a 14-hour window
Okay.
every 24-hour period. And there's all these rules, you got an 8 hour, you got to take a 30-minute break every 8 hours of driving. And there's all these little rules. And
Okay.
fine and dandy, right? It's it is what it is. But most of these rules are broken because they're most of the drivers are on paper logs, and they could just backlog. they can pre-log and just rip a piece of paper, throw it away. But with the electronic logging system, it's through Qualcomm, and you can't uh, delete it without having a copy of what you just deleted. So, and all that goes back to the Department of Transportation at the end of the year. It gets audited through a computer process, and they say, okay, you had this many violations of your 11-hour rule, your 14-hour rule, your 8-hour rule, blah, blah, blah. So most owner operators just simply, you could pull over most of the trucks and they're going to be running it illegally at that moment.
Now, what do you mean running illegally? Meaning running illegally is because you, according to the log, like you're supposed to be resting right now illegally, or you
Yeah.
mean they're illegally because they don't have the proper what? I mean, break that down.
Yeah, I didn't say the proper terminology. They would be running unlawfully. So illegally would be like hauling drugs or something like that.
Okay,
Unlawfully, they're just violating their hours of service with
gotcha.
Department of Transportation. Right. So most of these guys, they're running around unlawfully, but that makes, you could make sometimes $1,000 in a day, doing a specific run. That's uncommon, but you can make on average $2,000 or $3,000 a week profit after all your expenses.
Right, and
And
that's for the long hauls. Like if I live in DC and I'm taking a load from DC to LA, that usually pays like five grand, right?
um, yeah, maybe that would sound acceptable.
But now if I'm an independent owner operator, I gotta pay my own fuel though, right? You still have to pay your own gas and feed
Yeah,
yourself.
so general rule of thumb, you would just say owner operators, their net profit margin is going to be about half.
Okay.
Over like a 10-year period, you just rule of thumb it and say it's about half. So bring in 5 grand in a week, you're just going to look at about 2.5 grand profit for the week for you, or for the, driver. And then what the Department of Transportation is doing for the past 5 years, the OOIDA, Owner Operator Independent Drivers of America, they've been fighting the law of putting in e-logs. But once that comes in on December 18th, which it may not, you don't need to follow the little specifics of it all. It'll eventually happen, just like, in retail, that's dying. Well, this is dying too. And as that happens, it's going to absolutely slaughter the owner operators. And that's, I think, why you can find pretty much a lot of trailers for sale right now. You can see, because a lot of these guys, they're just getting the heck out of the way. They're just like, move,
So
move.
either you're gonna jump ship or you're gonna go and drive for Walmart or Snyder, right?
Right, or you'll stay an owner operator and just take a revenue cut because you're not going to be driving as much. When I used to drive a truck, I would drive like 16 hours a day. I was ridiculous with it, and just unlawful as anything, and
Wow.
so 11 hours a day is really unacceptable because once you might drive 15 minutes from the truck stop over to pick up a load from Walmart, and they take 4 hours to get you loaded, and then you leave. Well, you're 4 hours dug into your clock, and you can't drive now, but like realistically, like 8 hours that day. So you're like, I screwed up. What do I do to fix this? Well, I can park at Walmart. Oh, no, they don't allow truckers to park on property. So, you have these little things which just eat into your hours. And,
That's terrible.
so, yeah, oh, yeah, talk to some truckers, they complain about it all the time.
Now, did you drive a KW or a Peterbilt when you was out there?
I bought myself a, International 9400 I series,
Okay.
uh, 2005, yeah, white. I
International
had
Transtar, huh?
what's that?
International Transtar?
No, the 9400 I series, but I had a different engine. I had a ISX red top.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's
Yeah, it
up.
was nice.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty trucks out there. You know, they got everything in their truck. They got a shower, a little kitchen. They got everything in there.
I know.
It's like a
Dude.
Cadillac on wheels, right?
Yeah.
But nah, I mean, it's a hard life, man. It's like you can't really have a family when you're doing that
Right, right.
because
Yeah,
you're
it's
not
rough.
you're not home. That's why I like trading, man. Anywhere you got high speed internet connectivity, you in the game. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love trading. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
It affords you
Yeah,
to do the things you need to do.
and you just like simplified the process for me personally. So thank you for that.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you got the hang of it. So the sheet and the videos and all that is helpful, huh?
Yeah, I've absolutely done away with TV. I don't need any of that crap anymore.
That's what's
I
up,
just,
man. I'm glad to hear that.
yep, I don't even care what Jamie Dimon said. Don't even know if he said
Look, I guarantee you, not many days from now, you're gonna hear how Jamie Dimon is getting all the credit for spearheading and turning the cryptos around and making it, whatever. I guarantee you. And they're going to forget everything he said about calling it a Ponzi scheme. Remember, it's only a
it.
Ponzi scheme when the government is not controlling and getting their cut. So they're going to find a way to make it work. And then he's going to be praising it and he's going to get all the credit for it. Jamie
Yep.
Dimon will be getting Man of the Year, how he spearheaded, and they'll basically say that he created Bitcoin. You wait and see. I'm telling you, that's how they do. He's gonna get all the credit for doing this and making this thing all this and that. So I don't know how small the window is before they completely take over the crypto space, but they're really working fast on it. I know that the exchanges are working diligently to come out with more crypto ETFs and crypto futures contracts. I know that's in the works right now. They're working real feverishly behind the scenes on that. And so I don't know. I don't know what's going to come down in the future. I just know they're trying to play in the space. There's been big operators in the space. Remember when I first came out, I was the first one to reveal that there was institutional money in the crypto space. Y'all remember that? I said it in my videos, I said it in my documentaries, and I said it on the air with V. And everybody thought I was an idiot. They thought I was crazy. And then in the mainstream media, that's all you're hearing now is Bank of America investing $100 million into creating their own blockchain. So and so has a new ICO. That's all you're hearing now is big money involved. I told everybody, I warned everyone that the central banks was in there. And I told them, people used to hate my end of day reports because I would say, here's the dollar. And if you've seen the dollar, you've seen Bitcoin. And they hated it because I was showing them how the dollar was moving with Bitcoin and vice versa. They were moving in tandem. And then Bitcoin finally broke away. But I was explaining to people that that was happening for a reason because the central banks had gotten involved. But no, nobody wanted to hear me. Now everyone's crying about it. Well, I told everyone in the beginning what was happening. No one believed me. They thought I was just crazy or something. But you know my old saying, just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get me. So that's how I look at it. All right, I'm cool though, man. I'm talked out now. I'm gonna get back in the lab. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna shift some things around. Anybody got anything else y'all want to rap to a brother about? All right, good night, Will. Are we all good, folks?
Yeah, I think so, man.
All right, well, I will holler at y'all in the trading room, and of course, like I said, I'm supposed to go on with V today at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So rock on and ride those post waves, ladies and gentlemen.
Take care.
All right, peace out.